Hi everyone, and today in the Startup Booster we have a great entrepreneur, the starting one, the young one, and we're happy to present Kareem to you. So Kareem, maybe you tell a couple of words about you and what you do and what kind of idea you have and what brought you there.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to let our listeners know my name is Kareem Maize. I am 27 years old, and currently me and my brother Chris Peters had an idea to unite the world's entrepreneurs through a Google Hangout that we do weekly, every Saturday at 5 p.m. And what this hangout consists of is different ideas. Like this week, we're talking about how to avoid scams. One of our shows, we talked about your why, how to keep your audience engaged, different topics that pertain to keeping your entrepreneurs, whether it's online or offline, to help further their career and to help them look at better decisions in their lives and further their pursuits as entrepreneurs as well, while having fun and being in a free judgmental area. This isn't necessarily a business conference where we sit there and talk about how many we're going to make or how many people we need to recruit. This is a conference where people can get together. They're entrepreneurs, they're building their own or they're writing their own blogs, and they can get together and start to enjoy what they're doing and just have fun in this hangout. Actually, I want it to be a stress relieving hangout than anything else.
Okay, that's brilliant. And how do you select people normally for your interviews?
I actually started going to TED Talks, if you know what those are. They're generally YouTube videos where people who have made some profound impact in their field go, and they do a little conference. And I used to watch those during my lunch break at work or when I had spare time. So I would talk to these people on TED, and they're all interesting people from different backgrounds of life. I've had Tibetan yogis, I've had authors, I've had your regular average guys building his MLM. I've had people who have been in the business, online business, making money for quite some time. So it's not one type of person. It's not one type of niched person. As long as they're entrepreneurs and they have a positive outlook on life, I welcome them on the show.
Okay, that's good. That's interesting. So, why do you find entrepreneurship interesting for you personally?
I find it interesting for me personally because when I was about 23, I went to a coworker and said I was stressed out. Well, what should I do? And he looked at me, looks back, and he says, "Well, Kareem, you deal with the stress, you get gray hair like mine." And he said, "If you're lucky, you can retire by 60 or 65." I thought, oh, okay. And I secretly said in my head, I got to do whatever I have to do to get out of here. And there was also, I know Facebook has an illusion effect. I started seeing my friends like going on trips, doing things that they were enjoying their life, making music, going out and actually living life. And I was convinced that by getting a degree and by going to work in an office, I was going to be the happiest person in the world. But I couldn't just take off and run. I had to find a way, a real way to add value. So not only would I have the income, but I could do something people loved. And I tried a lot of different systems of other people's. I thought, no, maybe I'll try some multi-level marketing. I'll try my own blog. And they didn't work. I didn't know what to do until I read a blog post one day from a famous blogger that said, you have to add value that's uniquely your own. You have to add value that something maybe nobody else is doing, or if they're doing, you have to try and find a way to do it better or be more niched or unique. So me and Chris talked about the Entrepreneur Power Hour and also saw a funny video presentation of people were bringing entrepreneurs together. He was buying dinners for them. And I thought, well, I can't go out and buy a dinner for Donald Trump or Warren Buffett and get them all together, let alone get a hold of them. But I can bring entrepreneurs together on this Google broadcast. And we've been doing it for about 4 months, and I'm very excited to see what my future holds. I finally feel like I'm fulfilling a life purpose.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. So, what do you think that most entrepreneurs have troubles in their online or offline career?
I would say it's definitely not making the right connections. take it as most, from what I understand, 90% of people in MLM fail because of qualified leads. Most bloggers fail because, from what I've seen, they'll write great content. They may have world-shattering content, but then they only share it maybe on their Facebook, and if people aren't interested, they don't go there. And then to get more people, you have to do a practice of guest posting, which takes a while, which is tedious and difficult. And ultimately, I think you need to make the right following online. You need to have a following of people who are doing what you're doing or interested in what you're doing. And the power of the Power Hour came to me like this. If you're a guitar player, you're really good at guitar, you're uploading YouTube videos, but you don't know how to make a website. You want to make maybe something small in WordPress, and you want some graphic design so it looks pretty. You go on there, you find people like that, or you get mentored by people who can do that, and you get better. So you have the ability to go out and either learn those skills or find people who can do those skills for you. And funny enough, we had on one of our broadcasts, I just remembered, somebody was asking how to promote their website, and then one of the other panelists said, I'll show you an IFTT, I think that was the website. He said, well, can you get with me after this broadcast and help? So there's definitely a dynamic of when you get people with different skill sets to interact with each other, not just one skill set, not just getting people on your MLM team, not just getting bloggers who are on your same blogging niche. When you get people from all walks of life who have a talent online, then you're really powerful because you get SEO skills, marketing skills, personal development skills, technical skills, writing skills, and you become either well-rounded or you have people at every side, every avenue to help you instead of going on Facebook and LinkedIn and bugging a bunch of people and sending out messages.
Yeah, that sounds right. So your company is called the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Can you please share with us where the idea of the name is coming from?
The Entrepreneur Power Hour, me and Chris were talking about how we would get different entrepreneurs together because we were both entrepreneurs, and we said, like, hey, I want to get, different entrepreneurs to interact with us. What would we call it and what would we do? And we were experimenting with Google Hangouts at the time, and we thought, wow, that's so cool that now you can have a full line of video, because most people were doing their calls on Skype. Most systems we were doing, and you couldn't see the person. There's a lot different dynamic when you can actually see me as opposed to just hearing me. So we decided the Entrepreneur Power Hour would be a power, an hour of just having fun, of inspiring people for an hour on Google Broadcasts, on Google Hangouts. And so far, the idea has really, in my opinion, taken off with that. And there are a couple of people who have their own versions of the Power Hour, but nothing I've seen that they're doing on Google Hangouts. So I'm excited for it.
Okay, that's brilliant. Like, I love your idea, and I find it really brilliant. So one more question to you. What would be your advice to people who want to become entrepreneurs like you, who have the idea, but they are maybe scared to make their first step? Or maybe they just started and they need kind of motivation. What kind of advice would be from your side?
Okay. I would say two pieces of advice. One, stop thinking about it and start doing it, because a lot of people will start thinking, they're like, oh, I could be an entrepreneur. I could sell this, or I could make this, or I could manufacture, or I could come up with these services. And they keep thinking about possibly, and this is for more analytical types, will think about the costs and what could go wrong and what will go wrong. And instead of just thinking about all the factors that are in your way, even though they may be real, I'm not saying they're not, instead of focusing on the factors that could go wrong, focus on the factors that could go right, that could work in your favor. And when you do that, you'll start to get some momentum, and you just start on your idea. Now, when you craft your idea, it wouldn't hurt to get a business consultant or somebody who does some type of consulting, so he can say, your idea about, ashtrays that play music, maybe that's not great, but your idea about the Power Hour is good. And then what you really want to focus on is a target audience and then a destination. You're going to take a target audience. So after you get out of that, uh, being scared of doing something, you want to say, like, what am I good at? And it's as Aristotle said, where your talents and your love meets is where your income will be. So you want to find the thing that you truly love, find the target audience for that, and then find a destination you can bring them to.
That's
And
brilliant.
have a business consultant just go over that with you. Make sure that it's a profitable idea. Not saying the pool noodle or Furbies can't work, but you want something solid, something safer.
So somebody who can have experience in order to be able to advise you if you're on the right way.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to come up with an idea, invest a lot of money and time in it, and then find out that either it's not profitable or the niche is too small. And then you have to go back, and that would be very discouraging because you put so much time into it.
Okay. Thank you so much. So then, if people would want to get in touch with you, can you please let us know again the website and where they can find you and get connected to you, and maybe hopefully visit one of the hangouts?
Okay. To visit the Hangouts, there's three ways you can do it. You can go to www.theentrepreneurpowerhour.com, all one word, and on there you can look at this week's topic. It'll be on the website. It's a tab in WordPress, and you can look at it, see if it's something you're interested in, and then you click on the time, and it'll take you a link to our Google page, which if you go to the Google Plus communities and type in the Entrepreneur Power Hour, or pages rather, that it'll take you there and you can jump on one of our Hangouts. Also, if you're interested in seeing it on YouTube, if you type in the Entrepreneur Power Hour on YouTube, we'll come up and you can look at our videos, check us out, see if it's something you'd be interested in, and see if it's something you'd like to do. It's really a high energy group of guys, and they're really and women, and they're really interested in inspiring others, having fun, and also being educational at the same time.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. So I wish you best of luck with your project, and
Thank you.
then we're gonna share the details of contacts with other people. And have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye bye.